Hey guys, Paul here with VHScollector.com, here to bring you a VHS review, finally. And this time it's going to be a film called Hellfire. Hellfire was made in 1983, released by MPI Home Video in 1987. Now this is an interesting, odd little film because it's a short film. It's only 30 minutes long. I'm always quite surprised when a distributor, a well-established distributor like MPI Home Video, when they release a short 30-minute film. Seems kind of odd because I just don't imagine them selling a lot. I don't imagine people wanting to rent them at the video store. But I guess there was such a rush to acquire as many rights or licenses for movies at this time period that I guess they took on the 30-minute film. You usually wouldn't see that from somebody like Warner or MGM. It's just, I mean, not something that they would do. What we do see often are compilation VHS tapes, a compilation of various short films. Or with children cassettes you see a lot of short stuff, like a Barney episode or some kind of other television series for children, some animation stuff. But part of me thinks that maybe the director or whoever owned the right to this little short movie knew somebody at MPI. Maybe he really just wanted to release it and maybe he went to them. I'm almost positive it's a student film. It has a student film feel to it. It's pretentious like most student films. It tries to convey some deep message. This was in the horror section at 112 Video. Certainly it's not horror once you watch it. It's called Hellfire. I guess they thought, hey, sounds like horror to me. Certainly no one at the video store watched this movie because it's not horror at all. It has God in the movie, so the tagline reads, "God is back and she's not happy." So they really wanted to sell this as a sort of experimental film. God is back and she's not happy. That's right. In this refreshing look at TV evangelism, God is a woman, a beautiful woman at that, who reveals herself to Howard Wood, played by David Rash, a Bible-thumping TV preacher who has waged war every night on various segments of humanity, from gays to abortionists. What follows is gripping, hilarious, and unlikely to be seen on any station. Watch this video if you have any opinion at all on TV religion. So certainly, they're trying to up the controversy, I guess, to try to get some people to buy this or watch it. It's not hilarious. I don't know where that really comes from. I didn't really find anything humorous about this. Like I said, it just feels like a pretentious student film. So, not really sure about that angle. If I remember correctly, it begins with a televangelist doing his whole spiel in front of some TV cameras. He's talking about all the terrible things about humanity, about the apocalypse, and I guess according to this he's talking about the gays and abortion. And then he walks to his dressing room. I think he gets hounded by some press, and there appears a woman. The woman turns out to be God.
But as captain of the host of the Lord am I now come.
Well, young lady, this may come as sort of a shock to some of your women's liber friends, but God is not a woman.
God tells the man, you gotta send a positive message about me, not a negative one. You're talking about the apocalypse and you're talking bad about all these innocent people who haven't really bothered you in any way. You need to send a positive message. So they had this dialogue for a short period of time. It goes back and forth, and I think towards the end of it, he agrees. Of course, he has to, right? He's talking to God. This woman actually demonstrates herself to be God. He goes back out in front of the cameras, and nothing has changed. He goes on a spiel again about all the terrible things in humanity. He doesn't talk about the things that God suggested he talk about compassion, people coming together, people helping each other. It ends with that. It ends with another negative tirade. So ultimately, what is the lesson to be learned from this movie? What is it trying to say? I imagine it's trying to say, well, people aren't listening to God. People are going to do what they want to do, whether that's talking positively or being angry. It's a pretty boring movie. It's not very exciting. It's short, so, I mean, it's not going to kill you to give it a look. But I noticed a few interesting things about this movie that I think are worth talking about, things that I've noticed. It certainly is shot on film, but in various parts throughout the movie there's these weird black bars either across the top or across the bottom. Now it's not on the top and bottom evenly like a widescreen or a letterbox movie, and it's kind of like faded. It's not like a sharp, hard block on top of the frame. And I'm thinking, maybe they're trying to cover up the boom poles in the shot. And, you know, it made sense to me. And later in the movie, I'm watching a scene where he's just sitting down in a chair, I think, and there's a big boom pole right in the shot. It's just right there. Maybe that was a shot that they forgot to cover up the boom pole. I wonder, why didn't they just blow up the frame? Maybe zoom in a little bit, maybe it would distort the picture quality too much. I don't know. It just looks absurd. This certainly is not a perfect movie. The director, John Coles, went on to do a lot of other stuff in television. Quite successful. He did some episodes for Sex and the City, Law and Order, and numerous other TV series. The main actor for this movie, David Rash, before this, he did a few other things. This wasn't his first. This actor was in Men in Black 3, I think. That's one thing that stood out to me, but he was also on like a lot of TV shows. I think he was on the show Sledgehammer. Overall, this is an interesting little oddity to have in any video collection, but I just don't imagine anybody running out to the video store to rent this. I don't know how rare it is. It's on Amazon for like $5 or $10. You could certainly buy it. It's not that rare. Maybe because it's not horrific, it doesn't really have a horror cover to it. I like the artwork. This artwork, it's from a single frame of the movie, so they just paused the movie and drew it up. So yeah, that's Hellfire. Like I said, a little obscurity, but you're not really missing out. There is one review of this on IMDb from one guy, and he seemed to really like the movie. He talked about it quite a bit in that review, but I don't even think it has more than 5 votes on IMDb, so it, like I said, again, very, very obscure. That is it with Hellfire. This has been Paul with VHScollector.com. Hopefully I could roll out some more reviews, and I'll see you guys next time.
The Christian Television Network is proud to present our weekly inspirational message
applause
from Howard Wood.
Friends, the Lord spoke to me this afternoon in my dressing room. He appeared to me. He revealed his perfect self unto mine eyes. Not in his true form, of course, because, as you know, no man can see the face of God and live. But he appeared to me as a giant, and he spoke unto me, and he revealed his word unto my mind, a word full of frustration and death. And he commanded me to speak for those who cannot speak for themselves, to speak for the downtrodden and the oppressed, for the homeless and the corrupted and the perfumed, and every word must come from the Bible. He said from the Bible, for the Bible is the absolute truth, friends. The absolute truth. It is greater than any dream or any man or any apparition. And the Bible is the fountain of all truth. It is the source of all wisdom. It is the very tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And it warns us, friends. It warns us against the pornographers who poison and seduce our poor, helpless children with their filthy, putrid rot that smells of scum and dead skunks. And of the abortionists who, with their tree trunks as thick as axes, they bash the skulls of the poverty-stricken fetuses, and of the homosexuals, with their clinging, clawing embraces, how they tear the hearts from the poor and the needy. It shall not stand. It shall not stand. The Lord hath sworn it. The day of judgment will come, when fire like rain upon the earth will fall, and many will be left, and few will be taken, but none will escape the judgment of God, save he who hears it, that he might do it.